scariest Halloween night. This story is based on a well-known urban legend in New York, and many believe these events actually happened. In 1962, a group of teenagers decided to hold their Halloween party in an old, abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. The mansion, standing ominously at the edge of a dense forest, once belonged to an elderly couple who had mysteriously leaving the house empty and shrouded in eerie rumors. Local legends claimed the couple had been involved in dark rituals, and their souls were bound to the house, forever cursed to guard its secrets. From the moment the teenagers stepped inside, they felt an intense chill. Shadows seemed to move in the corners, and strange creaking sounds echoed through the empty hallways, as though the mansion itself was breathing. Nervous laughter echoed as they tried to ignore the unsettling atmosphere. Determined to have a Halloween adventure, they brushed off their fears, chalking it up to the eerie holiday spirit. As midnight approached, one of the teens, a boy named Danny, suggested they explore the basement, where they'd heard old tools and relics from the mansion's past lay untouched. The group hesitated but agreed, curiosity getting the better of them. With flashlights in hand, they carefully descended the staircase, each step echoing against the cold stone walls. Just as they reached the basement door, plunging the house into darkness, nervous whispers filled the air as they tried to figure out what had happened. One of them, a girl named Sarah, finally managed to turn on her flashlight, but it cast an eerie, weak light that barely pierced the shadows. As they reached the bottom of the stairs, Sarah's light flickered a trail of fresh, bloody footprints leading down deeper into the basement. The blood glistened under the faint light, as if freshly spilled, and seemed to disappear into a darker part of the room. Shaken but intrigued, they decided to follow the trail, thinking it might be some kind of Halloween prank. As they walked, the whispers grew louder, though none of them could make out any words. They reached a heavy, and the moment Danny tried to turn the handle, the door behind them slammed shut with a deafening bang. They were trapped. In the darkness, they heard faint, rhythmic chanting, like a ritual in an ancient language. The air grew colder, and an intense feeling of dread washed over them. Suddenly, a soft scratching sound began, like fingernails scraping against the walls, getting closer and closer. One of the girls, trembling with fear, held onto her friend's arm and whispered, "Something's here with us." They all stood frozen, too terrified to move, as the scratching stopped only for a voice, cold and menacing, to whisper from the shadows, "Get out." Danny, gathering what little courage he had left, turned his flashlight toward the source of the voice. There, standing at the far end of the room, was the ghostly figure of an old woman. Her eyes were pure white, and blood trickled down her face, staining her clothes. Her mouth twisted and she reached out her hand toward them. Panicked, the group scrambled for the door, but it wouldn't budge. The figure drifted closer, her pale, icy hand just inches away. In a desperate attempt, Sarah pounded on the door, screaming for help. Just when it seemed they would meet the same fate as the vanished one, and they burst out, fleeing up the stairs and out of the house without looking back. The teenagers ran to the police station, breathlessly recounting their terrifying experience. Officers returned with them to investigate, but they found no trace of blood, no chanting voices, and no locked doors. The basement was empty, as though nothing had ever happened. From that night on, the mansion was set every Halloween. Those brave enough to enter the old house reported feeling watched, hearing faint whispers, and sometimes even glimpsing the white-eyed ghost of the old woman, forever cursed to wander the halls, searching for those who dared to uncover her dark secrets.
Don't forget, like and subscribe for more stories. And don't be spellbound.